Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. Hope you are well. Hope that your weekend is going fantastic. If it's Friday for you all in the world, it'll be over soon and you'll be into the weekend mode after that. For those that are new or visiting, welcome, of course. Don't be afraid. We will be covering a couple of things on this video concerning the arms race. So make sure you do hit that like, subscribe, notification button just to grow the channel, but mainly to keep informed. There's always something new going on this channel concerning Dynasty Scrolls, whether it's guides, whether it's just Q&As, whether it's just power-ups, mucking around, being a noob, all those lovely things. And let's be honest, I don't feel like there's many other options out there. We are here to stay, so let's just grow together. But anyway, in better news, arms race. Arms race is a little bit more of a enigma. It's an enigma because a lot of people still don't quite understand its function and they don't really understand how it works, and they like to blame, I guess, management because of it. So let's just try to jump into it and explain it the best way we know how. Now, in terms of the structure, you're going to come into here and you're going to be like, what is going on, BB? There's this dude, there's a treasure chest. How do I get this treasure chest? Basically, you need to be in a legion. So if you're not in a legion, you really are doing yourself a disservice. Join a legion and jump right into it. But once you're in a legion, and if you're curious, you click this tab over here. It says legion, and you just click it, and then it'll take you to a window, and it'll allow you to select a available legion to join. Some might have some entry requirements, some might need approval, but basically you need to do it that way. It'd be weird if I told you to join a legion and didn't show you how. But either way, once you're in the legion, once you jumped into the event, you're going to have an option to start to do your missions. Every day you want to be able to grab your 588 gold, your 5 drums, your 20 horns. It's important because as a free-to-play player, this is going to greatly assist you to end up on a ranking leaderboard. Now, it is absolutely possible to get ranked within your server bracket with just doing this, right? You just need to do your daily tasks. Some are harder than others. I will give you that. I will absolutely tell you that some are harder and a lot more time consuming, frustrating, and you may need to spend resources to do them. But overall, you do have a variety and you will be doing them on your daily missions anyway. So they're just going to ask you to do some additional versions of them. Now, as I said before, you can spend gold and stuff like that. Obviously, it's up to you. If it's not within your budget, that's fine. Stick with what you can achieve. But the reality is, most free-to-play players can get themselves in a position to land on the leaderboard, or at least have a very good chance to do so. The main reason is you're going to be able to purchase these golden flags. Now, these are the ensigns, and they are used to get gold merit badges, which are very important, and we will cover that at some point during the video. But the reason that you need the ensigns is basically to add troop contributions. So your golden flags give you 3 troops, your drums give you 2 troops, and your horns give you 1 troop. And all of those, plus your daily missions combined, will allow you to have a chance to get into the rank system. Now, the rank system is a little bit different. They've expanded it out to 15 places. Before, I don't believe they had that many, but it's been around for a little while. As you can see, a lot of players in our guild, Beast Guild, on the server, are ranked in there, 516, and none of these people have spent any money. So anybody under a certain level, you can kind of tell they haven't spent any money. I would say borderline, this guy here, Sylph, has probably spent a bit of money. Miko's definitely. Lucifer, absolutely. But under pretty much top 5, I would say you don't necessarily have to spend. You just need to complete all of your tasks. Anyone over top 5, of course, that goes into light spender wild territory. But keep in mind, it is absolutely possible to compete. What I recommend is to do it last minute contributions. And if you're close to getting ranked, maybe, and this is entirely up to you. I never promote spending at all in any capacity, but for value terms, it might be profitable for your account if you did spend a little bit to get on that ranking board. Would I recommend doing it for anything around 15th? No. I would only recommend spending if you can get into the top five. That's my personal opinion. Take it or leave it. But the reality is, this treasure chest here is going to give you a Thunder Frost Feather and 150 merits. It is worth it from my perspective if it's only kind of costs you $10 per se. Now, again, that's up to you as the individual. Spend wisely. And if you're going to do it, make sure you do it towards the very end of the event, which ends in 16 hours and 11 minutes for this server component of the event. The arms race has two components. I'd like to stress that as well. But for this one, you're competing against your server. The next one, you're competing against your region. And the rules change. So I'd like to say that the rules for your regions change a little bit. Now, for those that are curious and for those that have had concerns previously, if you go into your consumable bag, if you click on an event item like the trumpet case in point, if you want to read the description, and I recommend doing this in most occasions if you are a new player, just because it helps you to understand the concepts of the game anyway. But a military trumpet used to recruit a small amount of troops in arms race. And this is the most important aspect of this item's description. Expires on the 18th of the 5th, 2021. Now that tells me everything that I need to know about this currency. It means that it has a shelf life. So, like most loaves of bread, you can't use it after a certain date. You got to throw it out. In this case, it would disappear from your inventory. It is very important for you to understand this. If you don't use your horns, you don't use your drums, and you don't use your golden flags, they will disappear and you will not acquire the corresponding silver, bronze, or gold merit badges. So let's just go ahead and use these. And there we go. Now, for a lot of players, they're probably thinking, well, yeah, PB, that's self-explanatory. However, on the official Discord, we did have an issue that was arising in the general chat, which was handled quite well, I will say, by the mods there. Thumbs up for you. You really did try to explain it to the individuals that had the issue, that the game will tell you that the currency expires. And I'll give you some more examples. Not for any reason other than I just like to be holistic in it. They all have it. They all explain it expires on such and such date. And if you, and it has happened to me in the past, if you don't use that currency, there will actually be a notification next to your bag icon that says expired. It will actually say the words expired. So you need to go into it and it will say basically to go in, check your resources. There's going to be like a little red tab that says expired or expiring. Now, I never really put myself in a situation like that, but if you have had that or if you've got a screenshot of that, just link it. I reckon most people could probably understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, if you have any confusion, let me know in the comment section down below. But that pretty much covers the server that we're currently in. Now, for cross-server event, it gets a little bit more spicier. And this is kind of the event where, as a spender, this is purely for spenders. This has got nothing to do with light spenders. This is more to do with dolphin to whale-ish spenders. You need to have accumulated 2,000 points minimum to be ranked. 2,000 points. So same point system. Take your cross server, move it across. So sorry, take your server points. Like so, Ven's got 1,354. You take those points across to your cross server. In order to even be ranked on your cross server, you need to have 2,000 points. But once you get ranked, oh boy, do the rewards get better and better. Now, should you be trying to compete with the cross server? If you are close to 2,000 points, you probably have already set yourself up to wanting to compete anyway. But generally speaking, 20 rewards, most players with 2,000 points will score a guaranteed 150 merit badge chest, being times 2. That's kind of like a consolation prize to you to give you some money items exchange. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's a consolation prize. But the truth is that 300 merit badges is pretty cool. As you climb a little bit higher, you then have access to an additional chest that gives you a shard of the Thunderfire feather. Remember, you need three shards to make one full feather. As you can climb a little bit higher, it actually gives you the full shard. Now, does it is weird, right? So this is kind of like, if you didn't need a Thunderfire feather for whatever reason and you just wanted gold merit badges, you're probably better off just going to 11th, just so you could get the additional 150. But if you do need the Thunderfire feather, then obviously you should probably try and rank within the top 10 because, well, you get the full feather, right? But you lose 150 merit badges. Now, it's weird me saying that. It's kind of a juggling effect. Honestly speaking, though, the higher you rank, you just get a different like world ruler, which is cool, right? That's cool. Honestly, I can't say that that would be my ambition. But if you're already up there, you're already up there. You're gonna get some gold badges as well, server awards as well, which is kind of cool. Now, in terms of like server awards, it hasn't. I can't actually click on it. It will probably be in another video when we round this up and spend the currency. But basically, wherever your legion lands, everybody gets a corresponding reward. So for us, because Ven and all the other ones are basically beasts, we're going to get 5 merit badges, some silver merit badges, some bronze merit badges, sorry, 5 gold merit badges, I should say. So we're going to get all of that just because our legion was there. It's kind of like a participation reward. It's pretty cool. Now, to reiterate, a cross-server event goes for 1 day. This server event ends in 16 hours. When you're watching this video, it's very important. If you want to compete on your server, you need to do your currency now or you will miss out, or you can wait until the last 4 minutes. It's up to you, but remember, you've only got 16 hours. This is for the Asian bracket, by the way. It will be a different timer on the EU and American. Be aware of that. It's up to you. All right. Don't say PB said 16 hours. Use your eyes. Go in there. Look it up for yourself. You're all adults here. Okay. I'm not going to treat you like babies. Don't come at me for it. Just make sure you are accountable for your own actions as well. Now, in terms of cross server, like I said, that's the whale territory. If you're not a whale, don't worry about it. If you're a whale and you have any questions, I am very much available to discuss those, and so is many other spenders on our Discord. But basically, this is where the nitty gritty comes. I have to get rid of all of the other stuff before we can even talk about the good stuff, people. This video better get some likes. But in terms of this is where things get a little bit spicier. Now, gold merit is pretty much the generic currency for any of the superior awards. We have normal awards, which allow us to spend silver and bronze badges. As you can see, they have added quite a few things, like the selection chest for Stark Armor. If you're struggling to I guess, fill out any of your stargazing catalogs, this would probably be not a bad investment in terms of just maybe getting that last minute power up to get you to the next tier. It could be a wise investment. Most late to mid game players buy the ultimate beast pills for obvious reasons. You can never have enough. But they've got an ascension chest. Interesting. That's starting to look a little bit more appealing now that I know I need an absolute bucket, a metric bucket load of black quillions to upgrade my shit to legendary. But that's another topic for another day. And ascension stones as well. Honestly, not a bad investment buying Ascension Stones. You will all run out of those, and that's just the honest truth. Honest truth, you'll run out of Ascension Stones and Black Quillions. Trust me on that. But if you are thinking of it in a terms of late game, you already know what you're going to be buying. Trust me when I say that. For me, I'm eyeing off Ascension Stones, and that's pretty much it. Beast Pills and Ascension Stones for the silver. Honestly, I don't know if I'd go down the path of getting the advanced engraving crystals. These ones are a little bit easier to acquire than the Ascension Stones because there's a cap on how many you can get each week. That's my personal opinion. That the pros and cons are Ascension Stones will only be really used to ascend your relics. So I'll give you a quick example. I guess this is going to be a fucking holistic video. Um, but in terms of this Ascended, so for me to get tier 3 Ascendant or a legendary artifact, a relic, sorry, not artifact, I need to fill out every single one of these nodes. We can do another one to show an example. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these to go, and they keep going up by 2. So I need like 22 black quillions for the next one, and so on and so forth. And then I need the actual Ascension Stones, which are the egg-looking yellow gold things, to even upgrade this bad boy for an extra 20% attack. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Is it expensive? Yes, very expensive. But that's basically where you get to when you get to sort of end game, looking to create your power up for for obvious reasons. That's pretty much where everyone lands. Um, Anyway, I think that is probably me in terms of trade off. I reckon Ascension Stones. If you're new or mid game, this one would probably be more directed at you. Start to build out your artifacts first. Get your artifact selections upgraded. Try to aim for the Twin Sabers and the Zuja's crossbow. If you're free to play, this is the realm that you're going to live in for a very long time until you can start to accumulate some of the legendary shards, which is possible in the wish shop and rebate events. But basically, you want to grab these ones. Epic hero shards, if you're very like beginning, like this like week 2, week 3, and this pops up, I recommend probably going with some epic shards to get your heroes of the epic variety to 7-star as quickly as possible. Keep in mind that eventually you won't use them, but you'll still be wanting to have them in your reserve slots regardless. Relics, kind of a nah, I would say pass on that. And gear shards, honestly, you should be farming out trials anyway and be getting the gear shards from your trials. If you need the additional ones, go ahead and grab those. In terms of priority, I would say priority number 1, epic weapons. If you're a new player, I should preface this. Epic weapons, epic shards, epic equipment, epic relic shards in that order. For everything else, obviously late game players, ultimate beast pills, but now we have a little bit more of a spicy action with the Ascension Stones. Probably where I'm going to go in that direction. If you're missing your advanced engraving crystals, yes, they can be really, really fucking annoying to get these relic crystals. If you're in that boat and you're like, man, PB, I'm not at the stage of doing my legendary relics. I don't want to ascend them yet. Then go for advanced crystals. You're going to need a lot of those. It is very, very important to upgrade your relic crystals to get the additional accuracy. Cannot state how important that is. So you need to go between those two. The trade-off, of course, is you won't have enough Ascension Stones or Quillions. That's going to be a reality that we all fucking live in. Now, in terms of this, Ultimate Beast Pills, absolutely no-brainer. For any late game players, that is pretty much going to be your go-to. After you get over 120, you might need these accessory enhancement stones. I assume that's for 120 once you get ascended. I'm not there yet, but when we get there, be sure to be checking that video out. New players, training pills, can't really have enough of those unless you do. Well, let's be honest, you can really not have enough training pills. I'm very tempted to buy those out. However, I'd recommend Weapon Forge Stones as well, being a top 2. Weapon Forge Stones, training pills, maybe some ultimate refining if you're still leveling up some of your Vanquisher gear sets. Charms, no. Relic Stones, no. Big no-nos. You get so much of that later on, it's not funny. You won't even be able to use half of them. I guarantee you of that much. Now, that pretty much covers your superior. Let's have a checking out of the gold store. I was interested in noting that you can in fact buy some of the legendary shards up to generation 2. Is it worth it? Negatory. Negatory, it is not worth it. I would just focus on saving your gold and using your wishing stones to get those. You can get 6 a day of the generation 1 and generation 2 shard chests. Not worth it at all. Ascension Stones, you can keep that for 500 gold. Epic Karma chests, arguably not really going to be on par. because you got 25 silver badges there, I wouldn't be really spending 1500. If you're desperate, and I mean desperate, and you're like, PB, bro, I'm like that close to finishing off my Stark Armor, then the answer would be yes. Let me get out of that. So then, of course, I mean, I'm not going to fault you. It's your gold, but at the end of the day, don't blame me when if you can't do the next event because you used all your gold on Stark Armors. But we're one away, so that's interesting. No, I'm still not gonna spend on that, to be honest with you. It really doesn't seem like such a good value. Honestly, if you're thinking about it in terms of value, these advanced crystals and advanced relic crystals are probably where it's at with 20% off, and beast pills as well. But let's be honest, this is where if you've got like 90,000 gold, and this is going to help you finish off certain aspects of your character, I would probably go ahead and do that. I would never spend on a Star Karma chest. Just don't do it. What I recommend is when the auction arrives, if there is an auction up, there isn't one up yet. Actually need to get rid of that one. But when there's an auction up and there's a legendary Star Karma chest in there, the minimum price is 3,500. Nobody bids on them. I would bid on them then and save yourself 1,500 if you are desperate in getting a Star Karma legendary chest. Is there anything else that PB wants to talk about? Everything else is kind of negligible. Advanced relic crystals are probably the most enticing item here, next to beast pills. Can never have enough beast pills. Potentially the epic Star Karma chest. I would not go ahead and buy this. If you are, I mean, I personally would say that, but if you're in a situation where you're like, man, I'm only like, I'm so close. I'm like 20 shards away. The first thing I'd say is make sure you go into your bloody rebate before you make any rash decisions, because they often give shards for generation 1 and 2. Spoiler alert, and of course Arena gives you Vanquisher gear sets today as well. So make sure you're doing your due diligence before you go spend your gold, because then you'll be like, ah, shit, I shouldn't have spent that much. Anyway, PB's got your back. Now the nitty gritty, what everybody's fucking waiting for. Is it worth you spending on legendary Star Karma? No. Big no, don't do it. It's a trap. Just use your paper charm shards for that shit. If you are desperate, don't do it. Now, legendaries. This is where it gets very, very much like a juggle. I don't know if it's going to help anyone, but hopefully this starts to make some sense. Arms race gold merits is purely designed for charms and nothing else. A lot of people probably get the conception or the misconception that it's about your wings, and all of the lovely little things that go around your wings, and all these lovely little distraction. I'm going to use this word because it is a distraction. It's not. It's really, Arms Race is designed for your charms, your legendary charms. Because if you rock a 5-star Moonlight Dancer, I have been told you will decimate the world. So, it's from my opinion, it really is only ever about charms, and the power of charms cannot be underestimated at all. I would strongly recommend going ahead and getting Moonlight Dancer, getting Demon's Roar. You're gonna need the corresponding legendaries to awaken it, so there is that factor. Obviously, I went with Heaven's Inferno as well. Um, that's my opinion. I'm probably just going to be one of the few people that says this, but I'm going to focus on getting my charms, and I don't mind buying universal charm shards. It really doesn't matter. You can buy universal charm shards, or you can buy specific charms. I have done videos about what legendary charms I think are best. Moonlight Dance, of course, is going to be number one. Demon's Roar, Heaven's Inferno is nice. There's honestly, Vanquishers actually hits pretty hard. I won't lie. I've played on other accounts where they've used this. Um, it's gonna weigh into whether or not your specific nation and factions have that available. Now, it is a thing, right? And of course, when we talk about charms, we're going to talk about divine ruins too. You're going to need divine ruins, which you can get from the auction house by spending gold, or you can spend gold merit badges to get them and upgrade your runes capabilities, as well as, of course, the new feature, which is like the karma cycle feature, where you can continually upgrade your charms as well that way. But realistically, the point of arms race is to get your legendary charms and upgrade them, and you will make far more progress by having a 5 star or 4 star Moonlight Dancer than you will by having Pretty Wings. And I just want to clarify that and just say that for the record. You're gonna have way more advancement and a much better trade off by having a legendary charm set than you are by having Pretty Wings. Now, other things that are a distraction are going to be your legendary weapon charm selection chest. I want to say this, if you haven't checked out my Annihilation video, check that out. I went ahead and bought the legendary weapon shard chest from the Annihilation event for 1 silver axe each per chest. Basically, I had enough to do my blue blade and 7 star sword from one event. Why would anybody want to, or me personally, spend 10 of my merit badges for 5 shards? It's ludicrous. Don't do it. It's a fucking trap. Now, in terms of your SP heroes, well, we don't have any yet, so we kind of have to discount that. If this was a mythic chest, I would maybe think a little bit different about it, but it isn't a mythic chest, it's a legendary chest. You do have Generation 5s. It is very, very enticing to want to spend some of your merit badges for your Generation 5s. However, you have to remember the frequency of the legendary events is increasing. We are getting a lot more limited time events. We're getting a lot more time heroes. Soon we're going to get a mythic or mystic hero. I think they're mythic. I call them mystic. Same shit. The purple pink heroes, we're going to get that event coming up as well. In that event, when you do the pulls, you actually get these shard chests as well. Spoiler alert, if you haven't checked out my Korean PB Does Korea, check that out. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. The special pulls or the mythic pulls will give you this shard this is the shard chest you get, and you get the mythic one. So this kind of loses its appeal to me. In my personal opinion, this loses my appeal for me. Um, I have to resist all this shit though. This has more appeal than anything else. I love myself a skin. I'm a dirty skin collector. It is what it is. We all have to deal with it. But the reality is, them be sexy. I mean, look at this. Sao Shao, got Guan Yu, Zhao Yu, Lu Bu, and we've got all the old ones. What does this actually do for your team if you actually have a weakness like me? Basically, they all stack. It's plus 5% HP attack and defense to all your team. If you can justify spending your gold merit badges on that, I'm not gonna blame you one bit. I know I'm being biased right now. Would I recommend spending it? No, I wouldn't. I know, right? That hurts me to say that, but let's be honest, it's not a good value. Um, in terms for legendary transformations, again, probably not the event to be spending 1,000 of these merit badges on. Let's be honest, they don't even have Sao Shao or any of the new ones in there. No Lu Bu's in there. Transformation events, pretty much where you're going to go for that. And I would personally just save for the mythic ones. Now that I know that they're coming out, if you got the legendary ones, you're still going to kick ass with legendary ones. Trust me, you're not. It doesn't really matter too much at that stage of the game. You're all going to be working towards mythic or mystic heroes anyway. If you got the legendary ones like Lu Bu or Chow Chow, you're still going to kick ass. Because we don't know. We don't know when they're going to be released. We just know they are going to be released. We just don't know when. So ultimately, I'm just going to be saving towards that. But that's my impression. But if you're thinking of it like, okay, well, now I can buy the Frost Sword Feather Shard. Well, let's have a look to see what you can actually acquire with the Frost Sword Feather Shard. And is it worth it? Now, you got to remember, I've already done this, right? But if you are looking at from a perspective of free to play, so your G1 feather costs you a butterfly feather, one of these guys. Your G2 wing set costs you a butterfly feather and your other feather. So you need your shadow butterfly and then a butterfly feather, and then you get the nether phantom. To get your reliquary of souls, so this is going out of the free to play territory into the pay to win territory prior to this update. Prior to this update, you could not acquire a frost sword feather. Now you can. So what will your frost sword feathers get you? Well, you need to have your nether phantom, so your one before this, and you need to have one feather. So one feather is going to get you all damage increase plus 10%, attack, defense, HP. That's what it's going to get you. It's going to get you a lovely power boost as well. I'm not going to lie. It's a thing. Then if you've already got that and you're already on the path and you're like, so what if I get another Frost Sword Feather PB? It's only 100 gold merits. It's not going to hurt me. Trust me. I mean, it's fine, right? It's fine. Convincing yourself that is great and all, but what does an actual Frost Sword Feather get you? Spoiler alert, it gets you all damage reduction 10%. And of course, you get an attack, HP, defense buff as well, but it's still the stock standard plus 10% damage. Now, these don't stack. It's not like you're getting 20% and all of that. It simply is an upgraded version of that. If you want to refine your feathers, you don't get additional percentage. You just get additional statistics to your HP, defense, and attack. And I'll show you in a second what I mean. But this is pretty much it. So at this stage, that's the maximum you can get with Frost Sword Feathers, which I actually have. What I need to do in order to progress to the Thunder Wrath is to get a Thunder Fire Feather, and that's not available yet. And of course, if you look at the statistics, it's 20% damage and an additional 5% damage reduction at 15% total. I can't get that. I can't get that without spending money. So this is realistically for those that are free to play and or really light spenders that haven't managed to get their Frost Sword Feather. That's what it's going to give you. It's going to give you 10% bonus damage, potentially up to 10% damage reduction if you get all the way up to the second tier. But that's it. Should you spend 100 merit badges? I'll let you decide. I'll let you decide on that. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Did you listen to anything that PB explained to you, or are you going to go ahead and get pretty feathers? Let me know. I'm very, very curious to find out. If you are, of course, a spender or a whale or a megalodon, this is probably, it really becomes irrelevant to you. Let's be honest. If you're already competing at the cross server level, you're probably going to be able to grab Thunderfire feathers, and you're probably going to be able to grab as many of these merit badges that you need. But stay tuned though. They will increase and include the Thunderfire feather for 150 gold merit badges, maybe in 2 months' time. I'd say they're trying to stagger it, and I understand why, but I'd say they're trying to stagger it out, and it might appear a little bit later on. I'm gonna have to wait for it. I'm gonna have to wait for it. I'm gonna have to save up, and realistically speaking, I might need to spend a little bit of money so I can start leveling up my moon. My moon dancer is pretty much what I want to do. I'm gonna wait off before I buy my 4th legendary. I'm actually gonna wait to see what the mythic charms that are released, which I saw in Korean server. They are available. I want to see what the mythic charms do, and then I might spend on those ones. But that's kind of my game plan. If you're interested and you want to see me what I to buy, I guess, on the last day of the event, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do a roundup video. Honestly, I'll probably do a roundup video anyway, because by then we will see that the limited hero or the time hero is probably popped up. I think it's the time hero is the next one, if I'm not mistaken. It's some sort of hero pool event. It's either time or limited. Anyway, hopefully that's found some sort of balance, I guess, in your decision making. Maybe it's explained some things a little bit more to you. Be aware that the currencies do expire for the last time. I will say that. I'll even put it in the description. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.